So one of the things that we hear a lot of is the negative things that happened last night, but I was there the whole time, and there was a lot of amazing positive things that happened for almost the entire time.
Yep.
So I'd love you to talk about the positive experiences you had, the things that you learned, the things that you're hopeful about as a result of yesterday's occupation of the Capitol.
Well, I can speak about, say the organization, the fact that we had some union groups provide resources and also food once we got on site. The fact that there were colleges there, Evergreen, the SPCC, something like that as well. They were also present. So there's a lot of organization for one day of kind of converging on the Capitol, which I believe worked to our advantage because it showed that we can properly organize with proper conduits and with individuals who have access to like larger resources. Because if we remain kind of donor dependent, like as with many NGOs and with many operations that are donor dependent, they will fail because there's no means for kind of reinforcing the first series of efforts. Because initially, let's say when we were at Westlake up at Occupy Seattle, Westlake was sustainable for the first, let's see, 2 weeks strong, 3 weeks strong, because we had some very dedicated donors. But once pressure started coming from the commercial interests and the police interests and surveillance and aggression, and then also the city, King County Parks and Recreation, King County Public Health Parks and Recreation. The problem is some individuals felt that not everything was as viable. But I think what we showed at the Capitol was that despite all the problems, all the pressure, between our sites, all of our affinity sites, we were still a viable operation despite anything, because we had so many union individuals show up. We had students who, I guess for the first time, were seeing that their voice could actually affect something larger than their own assumption, which is that they don't matter in the larger scheme, in the larger scale of things. So just to see the young student, the young students and the student-led demonstrations was one of the larger positive events of the day. I think the second and more telling event was the sit-in when everyone sat in and around the tree, and we had our GA, and we actually forced by will the officer to participate, one of the officers to participate in the GA, and have him remove any sort of sense of authority with the bullhorn he kept. So the thing is that the bullhorn was drowned out by the larger echo of voices. So basically we demonstrated to him that this is an occupation and that there are rules of engagement, that you can't just arbitrarily take the mic. If it's not your turn, type of thing.
Being really loud doesn't get you on stack.
No, exactly. Being really loud doesn't get you on stack. Thinking that thinking that your point is so much, thinking that your point is greater and that it may have a higher impact. That's the wrong mentality going in, because it is again a direct democracy system, a system that is more equitable than noise. So anyone can pull up a bullhorn, and anyone can get a noisemaker. Anyone can get a horn and try to prove their point. But if you follow the system, then it'll all work out. And the thing is that's part of why we're here. We see system problems, we see system failures. Once you see a system failure, we have individuals, again, all like-minded individuals trying to address that system failure. And again, that's what happened towards the end of the night too. Another system failure. The police troopers, their reinforcements came out. They wanted to basically intimidate, so they kept marching the line, advancing the line, advancing the line. Basically, I was singled out at the end of the night because I was again speaking to them, very, very plainly, very frankly. I said, listen, cowards ignore what we're saying, because they kept trying to talk over us, telling us that we were trespassing. Instead of really negotiating with us and asking us, could we leave peacefully or peacefully? Could we try something? Could we try another means? Can we actually dialogue? Because the more force you showed a group of individuals like us, the more we respond with better tactics. Because you could even try to eradicate us, and hurt us, and that's what a lot of the police forces were doing, especially in Seattle. What I was observing. And they were harming medics, they were harming staff persons, elderly persons, the disabled. You have some young students, young children in the crowd. And I think it's just it's inhuman and it's hypocritical, because if you pass a resolution like the city council did, recognizing Occupy Seattle as a nonviolent movement, the next day that same city allocates resources towards the police force to pepper spray us, that's completely hypocritical. We had a congressman, not a congressman, city councilman moderate a town hall meeting that's, I guess, typical to Seattle. And he was very clear about the nonviolent aspect of it. And so to see the use of force, to see the display of force, again, the use of bikes as weapons, mace and pepper spray, pushing, shoving, it's just like, folks getting lacerations from the use of bikes as weapons. It's a question of whether or not their own training is adequate, whether or not the city is even training their police forces adequately, in whose interests does police force exist, and who are they protecting? Are they protecting the city interests, commercial interests, the interests of the people? Folks are actually determined whether or not they remain a police force. And so it's just, it's disheartening, but then again, this is why we're here, because we're trying to address that issue.
I got one more for you. So, where would you like to see the Occupy movement go from where we are right now next? Like, what should we do? Where should we put our resources, our energy, and have our GAs focus on?
I think there needs to be more blueprinting in terms of how to replicate systems that worked in the past. And so, we have meetings of folks who travel between each occupation, just share knowledge. But in terms of our future direction, I want to see more demonstrations, larger demonstrations. I want to see individuals more willing to engage the unknown in terms of, if you're going to be homeless and occupy, we can protect you, we can provide for you, because one of the bigger difficulties we've been facing at Occupy Seattle was the consumption issue. Kind of large consumption without reciprocation of effort. So if you're on site and you're consuming and you're depleting our resources and you're not contributing to the larger effort, then you're completely the antithesis of what Occupy is about, completely. And so when I'm on site, I'm just very, very vocal and very clear that if you do this, and I see you doing this, for example, I work information, so I'm the information, I work the information booth, the information section, and I'm very clear with everyone I meet. I said, if you're going to do this, you don't belong on site. And it might be kind of, callous, or it might be just inappropriate to say this, but it's what we have to do in order to maintain the community that we want, because there are no other softer methods than actual direct speech, like pull your weight, or just don't remain here. And so I want to see Occupy develop under its own momentum, with its own resources, its own sustainable systems. Our own treatment water systems, our own system of exchange and value. We don't have to use money. I very much emphasize this from the beginning. I said, if you're going to donate to us, especially in Seattle, do not donate money. Money should be out of the equation. If we use money, it should be used for bail, or for larger resources, or maybe a vehicle. But beyond that, we don't want money, because it's just going to be a point of contention, and it's just going to cause issues for the future. So I want to see individuals willing to, again, support the systems that exist as proven functional systems, like our legal team. It's a proven functional team. Someone's arrested, their names are recorded, depending on the offense, they're bailed out, the case is assessed, they're represented. So it's just, there's that team, there's a sustainability team, making sure that all our things are kept organized and sanitary, and that trash is organized. There's the peace and safety team. Peace and safety team is just incredibly efficient when it comes to enforcing the rules, making sure that there's an actual presence, making sure all our perimeters are kept in order. Again, I just want to see us grow larger, and just call it self-replicate based on proven models. So, and if we have proper representatives according to experience, like if you experience more than 5 occupations, you can really speak to a proper occupation. And then you can come, we develop blueprints, we disseminate them, and I think we'll just keep getting larger because, you know, once, and I mentioned this before, once we devolve to violence or the use of force against the use of force, then we haven't won, you know. And things we're winning now because we've proven that you can use arbitrary force against us, but we'll find another more strategic means to show you that that is the wrong path to use, firstly, and secondly, you know, we went into the Capitol, we occupied the Capitol. You know, it's just as plain as that. And they can try to stop it, they can try to intimidate the process, but it's just, you know, you can't stop the will, a large will, you know, of like-minded individuals. You can't stop that.